Good morning, Facebook, YouTube. What's up, guys? Today is April the 30th. I'm out here in the Snellville, Georgia area working on a Sunday because we're booking up really fast. We're really going into the spring, the busy spring season. We're already about 2 weeks booked out. So, guys, here's another one, another job that I'm redoing after another company. And guys, I will say this is actually a brand new floor that was installed about 2 months ago. And then she said, Courtney, the company came in, sanded the floors, and they did one coat of oil base. And not only did they ruin her brand new floors, so if you look really close, you see those lines? See those guys? Those are called chatter marks. That's basically, even if their drum sander, their sander is having some type of technical issues, or someone who was using the drum sander was not experienced using it, and that drum sander spins so fast, it actually digs more into the wood. So when you feel it, it feels wavy, okay? The only way to correct that is to resand it. She said, Courtney, I don't want to go through the sanding anymore. But the main issue with this house, guys, I came out here 2 weeks ago because I told her let it continue to off gas. They use oil base. They only did one coat. Her floors feel so rough. They feel like sandpaper, okay? See that? I mean, they just feel so rough. And when I came here 2 weeks ago, the smell from the oil base was so strong. It was unbelievable. I don't even know how they were able to sit here in this house. So I came out after she found me. She actually saw me on Instagram, okay? And I came out and she said, Courtney, I saw some of your videos with the same issue, because I actually did a job. We did a job about a month ago in St. Marlowe's Country Club, same issue. And I'm gonna come today, what I'm gonna do now is just screen all this oil base off and apply 2 coats of water base. So guys, this is the thing. When it comes to oil base, water base, there's a lot of debate, especially when it comes to the guys who perform this service. When I was introduced to wood floor maintenance and recoating, I never used oil base. I only experienced water base. And my thing is, what really matters the most is what's safe for the home. I have clients who say, Courtney, we do not want oil base. I have clients that say, Courtney, we got our floors done years ago. The smell was so strong, we couldn't come in the house for weeks. I even had a client say that it was so strong, she had to throw away her furniture and clothes because the oil, the odor from the oil got into her clothes and her furniture and had to throw it away, okay? So again, guys, I feel real bad that people have to go through this, because my client said, Courtney, my house has been in disarray for almost a month and a half. And you can see that she lives here, but she's just ready to get back to her house, all right? So show you guys what I'm gonna be doing today. Really just screening all this oil base off and applying water base. And guys, this is what I'm using today. Pro Coat Aqua Pro, all right? And this is water base. And what does that say? Odorless, okay? Odorless. This is a 2-component product, and she's going with satin. So we're going to be doing this area right here. So 803 square feet. This hallway from the garage. This whole open living room area. And this area right here. But man, like I said, when you just look, I mean, just so, look at that. You see that? From an angle, see that? Those are chatter marks. Just dug into that wood and just really just ruined the wood. So I will say what I'm going to be doing today is going to make the floors look a whole lot better. Also, and they're going to make the floors feel a lot better. I mean, look at this, guys. You can just see all those chatter marks. I mean, just that was the first thing that I saw when I walked in here. So unbelievable. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm just going to come back and show you the after results. Stay tuned. I see you for a minute. All right, I want you to show you something. Okay. So I've already screened vacuum over here in the kitchen. So the 2 of the main problems, you know, was the oil base. Yeah. Now feel right here where I screened. See how much smoother the floors feel now? Yeah. You see that? Yeah. Now come over here where I haven't screened. Feel like sandpaper. Yeah. So that's the one thing is knocking the grain down, knocking all that oil base out, getting the floors nice and smooth, because I want these floors to be smooth as possible before I put the water base on. Okay, all right, good. So yeah, definitely a difference. Yes, ma'am. And you said they did this about a month ago?
No, by the time you came, they had probably finished up about a week.
So it's been about 3 weeks, because I came about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you know what? And when I was sick, he kept calling me, begging me, trying to come back and just clean it up. And I told him, I'm just not comfortable.
Yes.
I gave you 2 tries. The first time you jacked it up with the shadow and stuff.
Yep.
And then you tried to hire a guy that you said had a company to come in and straighten it out for you and put the coating for you.
And it's still,
that was worse.
Yes,
I mean,
wow.
I said, I'm not comfortable.
So you gave him 2 opportunities.
Yeah, the first time.
Yep.
And then I let him hire somebody to come in and say, we'll finish the process for you.
Wow.
Because that sander was bad.
Yes.
I said, okay. And I wrestled with that thing. I wrestled with it. I said, you know what? I like to be fair.
Yep.
I said, but my spirit wouldn't let me. I said, I need somebody who can really specialize in this and get the job done.
Yes, ma'am.
You do multiple things, but I don't think flooring is your key thing.
I like that you said that, and that's why I tell guys, and people see what I do. This is what I specialize in.
Right.
Wood floor maintenance.
Yeah.
I don't clean carpets. I don't pressure wash. I focus on one thing because I'm a firm believer. What you focus on and what you specialize, that's what you master.
Trust me, that's what I believe. And I told him, I said, you know what? I'm sorry. I said, when I get up off this bed from being sick, I gotta call you because this is what I want.
Yes, ma'am.
This is my spirit. So
Thank you.
yeah.
All righty.
Definitely. Yeah, okay.
All right, guys. Another indication when we know we're taking off oil base is if you look at it when you screen it. Water base is usually white, but you can see how it's yellow. It looks like that's what we call amber. So oil base has like a yellow tint to it. So that's another way to tell if there was oil base applied to the floor. All right, so you can just hear how rough the floors are as I'm screening. Wow. What I want to do, guys, I'm just going to keep going over the areas as much as possible. See how when I go over here? Now listen right here, guys. See how I go back over here? See how it's smooth now? See that? It doesn't feel rough. But I'm basically knocking down the grain of the wood that was raised by the oil base. See how it still sounds rough over here? So I'm just going to keep going over these areas as much as possible. Now these floors are stained, so as a professional, I need to know when to stop. Okay, so I don't start going into the stain. And this certain pad that I'm using is very good for these type of jobs. See how it sounds so rough? I want to just keep. My job is to get this floor as smooth as possible. Now watch when I come over here. You hear that? See how rough it gets? Wow. Unbelievable. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm already screened down the floors. What I'm doing, using one of my senses, is my sound. Okay, so even though the floors look smooth, I'm still just going with the buffer, trying to find some of the, see right here? See how it sounds really rough? Okay, because again, my job is to get this floor as smooth as possible. All right, so remember guys, it's not a race, all right? I always teach guys, if you have to speed through jobs, that means you're not charging enough, okay? If the customer pay you well, make sure you do a good well job, all right? So what I'm doing now, I can see with my eyes that the floors are getting screened properly, but right now I'm using my ears to listen to some of those areas. See right here? That still might have a little raised grain, and getting it smoothed down as much as possible. Take my time, let the machine and the screen do its job. All I have to do is just move it and control it. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, got these floors ready for the first coat. I will say, for the most part, man, even the stain looks better. You can just really see, I mean, it's a beautiful stain, I will say that. But the floors just look a whole lot better. Like I said, the only thing that the screening would not fix is the shadow marks from the drum sander. Now I will say this, see, like right here, I did a job just like this, me and Scobie. It was a huge house up in Kennesaw last year, and it was the same thing, oil-based finish. She did not like it. It looked horrible, and a lot of shadow marks. Well, actually, when we was done, and she also went with a satin finish, you could barely see the shadow marks, okay? So hopefully we can get the same results on this house as well. So especially if you look over here, you see those, I'm gonna zoom in. See those shadow marks? See that right there? That's from the drum sander digging into the wood. All right, guys, stay tuned.
Stagger, even though you're easing it down, you still want to stagger it, stop and start.
Gotcha.
So you don't have this.
Gotcha.
Going straight across.
All right, YouTube, check it out, man. This is after the first coat. These floors look night and day difference. So I got I call him my big brother Reggie. He actually is going to give the client a quote to redo her stairs because she want to do her stairs. So Reggie came by. But guys, look how much better these floors look now. Now guys, if you go back at the beginning of the video, you remember the floors almost looked like, I thought they had mixed stain, like it had like a whitewash. It looked really ashy. Because I asked the client, I said, did they mix stain? She said, Courtney, I don't think so. So guys, if you notice the floors, you can really see the beauty of the stain. One of my other mentors, James, called me because he saw the video that I put in the private group. He said, Courtney, what it was, there was all that fine dust that they had basically poly over and it locked into the floor. So when you screened it, you knocked all of that out, and then I vacuumed it and tacked the floors. Now we can see how beautiful the floors are. So the only thing now in the client, and you really can't even see it that much, but that's what Reggie was just explaining, these shadow marks. So with the water base, you really can't see them as much, and they're not as obvious with the compared to the oil base. And Reggie also has experience with water and oil, okay? But I've only used water. But what he was saying is when they was turning that drum sander around, it was just, what you say, Reggie, just digging into the wood?
Yeah, when they dropped it, the sander wasn't in motion.
It wasn't in motion. And like he was saying, when you use a drum sander, which I've used one actually with Reggie, but I never drum sanded a floor by myself. But like what Reggie was saying, with that drum sander, it has to be in motion. You said like an airplane?
Yeah, like an airplane landing.
Like an airplane landing. So as they're dropping it, they need to be moving it. And if not, that's what happens. So he was saying, Courtney, those are not shadow marks. Those are just basically whoever was using that drum sander, they was basically inexperienced, and it was just digging into the wood. But I will say, with what I've done too, is another thing too, guys, this is just a you can see staples in the floor. And Reggie also pointed that out. He said, Courtney, they should have took those staples out because what it looked like it was misfiring, because even the client said something. She said, yeah, I can see staples. So, but like she said, by the time she put her furniture in here, a lot of this stuff you won't be able to notice. But overall, guys, man, the floors, Miss Benji, the floors look amazing. And this is just the first coat. Just the first coat. Come check it out.
Yes, just dry.
Yes, ma'am. Ready for a second coat? Yes. Look how much better these floors look. Yes. I was telling YouTube, oh, you fine? I was telling YouTube the reason why, remember we was wondering why it looked so ashy? And James told us because all that dust, when they were sanding, it got into, and they just poly overed it. I mean, guys, the floors look night and day difference. I mean, before, just certain areas just look really grayish. And I thought they had mixed the stain, like some whitewash or gray into the stain. And it was just basically dust that was impacted in the wood. Man, these floors.
And the funny thing is, he did. I saw him do that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I saw him with the little wood fillers, but I guess some spots just, I don't know, end up coming out.
Yeah. Here's another staple right here. Yeah, but like you said, by the time you put your furniture in, some of these staples, Ray just said the reason why you can see those staples, sometimes the air compressor misfires, so they should have pulled the staple out, because he said it should go so deep where you shouldn't see the staple.
Right.
So that's what it sounded like. So,
oh God, this is just amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just like floored, like, ah. Now my thing is, because another thing I heard you say in your videos, people cleaning their floors, putting the wrong product.
Yes.
And like, some of the stuff that you were naming was some of the stuff people
Told me
to use.
no. So I'll tell you what to use before I leave. Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha.
Wow, amazing. And if you notice too, and those are not cheddar marks, those are drum. The Reggie said those basically those drum marks come when they wasn't lifting it up down. It was just digging into the wood, but you can really barely see them. They're not as obvious.
No, that was very obvious.
They was very obvious before.
Yeah, I mean, I barely can.
You can barely see, yeah.
Very pronounced.
Yep. And that's what I said, because the other job I did like this last year, she said the same thing. She said, Courtney, when y'all was done, I can barely see those cheddar marks.
Yeah, and I can tell by the time I put my big rugs down.
Yep.
I shouldn't even see those as much either.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, YouTube, another job well done. I'm going to go ahead and get the second coat down, and then Reggie's going to give her a quote for the stairs. And I'm going to go home and watch this Game 7. Golden State and Sacramento. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.